I run a market research company called Abacus Data. We sort of see ourselves as really the only firm that really specializes in helping organizations understand and try to learn and act on what we think is significant and unprecedented generational change tied to the technological disruption that comes with it. And so what I'm going to do today is share some insight into what our data is suggesting, what our research has done over the last 8 years. Now, some of you, before I get into my content, there's always one question that people in the audiences that I get to talk to are wondering, because Patrick introduced me, PhD, runs your own company, and I am a millennial, which means I like to Google myself. And if you Google my name and you wait for the fill in the blank and find out what other people are asking Google about, and you put my name, it's David Coletto, age, ? Because you're wondering, how is this 18-year-old possibly doing all of this stuff? I'm not 18. I kind of wish I was still. 36 in December. But I like to credit my Italian grandmother for all the olive oil that she fed me and kept me nice and young. But I want to start. I don't have a lot of time today, and there's so much to talk about. I want to start with, for a lot of you in this room, is pretty obvious, but not everybody recognizes it. And I want to start by giving you some insight into how quickly our world has changed by looking at the 5 largest companies in terms of their value. And if you go back to 2006, the 5 largest companies by market evaluation, ExxonMobil, GE, Microsoft, Citigroup, and British Petroleum. 2 energy companies, a bank, a conglomerate, and a tech company. And if we fast forward to today, right, the 5 largest companies in terms of their value in the world are Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Facebook. Just recently, after a nice surge in their share price, Netflix topped over $100 billion value, worth more than Goldman Sachs. What is driving this? So much is driving this change. It's not just my generation, but we have a big part to play in that, and that's what my story is going to be about today. And I'm going to share some data. We just finished some research to go along with this talk and give you some insight into my generation. So the question that I'm going to try to answer, or at least start the conversation, because there's lots of talk about millennials. You almost can't turn on the news or go onto any website and not see something written about this generation. And a lot of it is good and interesting, and a lot of it is exaggerated and comical. And so I try to bridge the gap between the two and talk why we have these stereotypes and what does it mean for your business. Because there's going to be a huge impact, because it's a huge market of Canadians, Americans around the world. And so the question I want to answer is, how will this generational change, this massive shift in the market, impact property and casualty insurance?